silly games of second guessing. I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn, because one street over there's a life I could have known that would have kept me from the one I had today. Simply curtain that rises to the stage. Silly games of second guessing. I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn, because one street over there's a life I could have known that would have kept me from the one I had today. Everywhere I could have ended up just like that broken road, with a dead end in my path. Thank the Lord that I've got more than that.
Here we go. This is 1100 WSGI. I'm U-Turn LaVern, and this is One Street Over. Yeah, I'm doing it again. I'm sitting here chit-chatting with my guest, and you can see me on social media just having a good old conversation. Well, it's because we're friends, and we're talking, and you were in here last year, and I forgot that you're Jason's wife, who is our Wildlife Resources Officer, Jason Shapton. And this is Amy Shapton, and she is the principal at East Robertson Elementary.
Yes, ma'am.
And we were talking about how, and now Greenbrier people don't get upset, but I really love the community. We've got Dr. Cory Willoughby's coming in from Joe Burns. I love the community of those schools and Greenbrier because we've got that close-knit community. But with East Robertson and Joe Burns, you've got that farming, agricultural kind of thing going on. And that's how I grew up.
Yes.
And so I've always just loved when y'all come in and talk about your schools. I can just feel it,
It's definitely a unique community.
Yeah, it really is. It's different.
Absolutely. It is a phenomenal community. And I tell people that all the time. And I don't want to encourage too many people to go up there because we're kind of tucked up there in our little area. And it is a fantastic little gem of a place. Yeah. And, we have the best teachers, the best students, the best families. Yes. It is a very close-knit community, and it is fantastic to have the community support.
Yeah, and I love that, and it's so funny because I've my longest running full-time sponsor, Barry and Rebecca Richards with Exit Prime Realty. They're Cross-Plainians, and so they're all East Robertson, and they do so much throughout the entire Robertson County community, but that's their home for 30 years. I'm assuming their kids went to school through East Robertson, I would imagine.
I've only been there 2 years, so I'm still getting to know everybody, still getting into, those families that have been there for a while, so I'm learning a lot.
But there's a lot of them, my goodness, there's a lot that have been there forever. So remind me, what's your background? Like, how did you end? Because you're not from originally Robertson County.
I am originally from Robertson County, yes.
Because I've had the conversation with Jason, and we got to get him in because, Caleb comes in all the time. I'll have to have him bring Jason in too. But it's because of your connections here that y'all came back here.
I'm originally from Robertson County.
Okay. Where'd you go to school?
I actually went to White House High School. I'm from White House, and that was before the county split. So that was before the county split. Always lived on the Robertson County side of White House. My parents farmed there. So I worked in White House schools, heritage schools, for about 15 or 16 years, and then moved over to East Robertson last year, and it has been phenomenal.
I never realized. So what the White House school was part of. They split the county. I mean, when did that happen?
The city.
When did they
The
split
counties
this?
partnered together a long time ago and educated K through, if I'm remembering this correctly, it's been a long time, K through 4 or K through 5 in Robertson County at White House Elementary School. And then we went across the street to White House Middle School on the Sumner County side and did middle school and high school. So all of White House together did kind of the county split. When White House started getting so large, it became impossible for the two counties to maintain that
Okay.
together, and they split the schools. So now you have the Heritage side and the White House side.
Wow. We had Gerald Herman, the city administrator, and then Mandy Christensen,
Yes.
who is the president
Yes.
of the chamber in White House yesterday. And we were talking about the complexities of that split.
Yes.
And oh my goodness. I mean, yeah. That's very interesting. That's very interesting. My mother grew up in an area where you could stand on the road and have one foot in one county and one foot in the other.
Well,
So,
that's
you know,
kind of where I grew up.
Yeah.
My parents are right on
Interesting.
31W, like the
Yeah.
farm is, and you walk across the street, you're Sumner County. So
Yeah.
literally the dividing line in the middle of the highway is the county line. So
Interesting. My mother, one of her jokes was always when she was the youngest and had older brothers and sisters, and they'd get to fussing. If you don't straighten up, I'm gonna knock you into the other county. What was only just like across the
Across the
road,
street.
So it's like anyway. I digress. We're talking with Amy Shapton. This is what we like to do. It's the reason why we block out the time we do is because we want to get to know each other and know what's going on. Like I tell everybody, we're just sitting on the porch talking, and I just thank you for reminding me because I don't see you for a year. All the principals come in, they're like, I was
Yes.
here. I'm going to get to where I'm gonna be like, hey, and see you out in public. You know what I mean? Because we
Yes.
just don't cross paths enough.
Right.
And Jason's the same thing. Because Caleb's in here, but I love building these relationships.
Absolutely.
I love building these relationships, and that's why we wanted to do this, is to help people in your school. I mean, you've got parents that
Yes.
don't really know you that I'm hoping will hear this and go, oh, she's just a regular old country girl, grew up on a farm and all this kind of stuff. And I just love the journey of people that come back to Robertson County or stay in Robertson County. It says something so much about our county. I mean, it speaks just volumes to what we have going on here.
I know working in Robertson County schools, because living in White House, I could have gone either way. I could
Right.
have gone to Sumner
Sure.
County schools, but I feel like in Robertson County schools, we are known. The relationships, like you were talking about, those are there. We're not just a number, even employees. And I try to make sure that my students feel that way too, and families feel that way too. They're not just a name or a number, like to get to actually know them. And we have the ability to do that in Robertson County, I feel like.
Oh, I agree. So how many students do you have in your school?
We are sitting at around 650 this year.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
About 60 more than we had last year.
So when you look at, because it all, some elementaries are, like kindergarten through fourth and different ones. So what is your grade to grade? What is it?
Pre-K through 5.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
That's a span.
It is a span.
And then so 6th, 7th, and 8th, they go to middle school. Is the middle school up by the high school?
The middle school is in with the high,
High
school.
school.
Yes.
Okay. That's what I was thinking.
They have their own little wing, but they are part of the high school building.
Okay. Well, see, that's how we were. Well, growing up in my school, we were all one building. I mean, we were all like we didn't have kindergarten. Of course, I'm old, but everything was right there.
Right.
It was 1st through 12th,
Yeah.
so you grew up with these kids. But see, that's wonderful, the relationships you can build, because it's nice for the high school kids to be able to mentor those elementary kids.
Oh, yes.
Or those middle school kids
Absolutely.
coming up. And I'm sure that y'all all work together. We do that at Greenbrier,
We
where some
do,
of our high
yes.
school kids will go over to the middle school, they'll go to the
Absolutely.
elementary, and they'll do things within the clubs, teaching as a profession or
Yes,
something like
we
that.
have that comes over
Right.
from East Robertson High School. We also have different teams and different clubs that come in and read to our kids
Right.
on certain Fridays. The kids love it.
Oh, I'm sure.
I know the football team came. It's been quite a few weeks ago, and they even brought like T-shirts and stuff to give out to some of the kids.
Oh,
and
how fun.
our kids ate it up.
I
They
bet.
love when those bigger kids come.
I bet they do. That gives me, because I've got on my broadcast club shirt. that gives me something that our broadcast club is. I'm in at the middle way through my 4th year. I can't believe it, but I'm still trying to kind of get all the nuances to it. Because in total, then how long have you been been teaching? So
Been teaching 20 years. 4 of those were in private school in Putnam County before we moved back home to Robertson County. And then I've spent the rest of the time here in Robertson County.
I love it. So 20 years, my goodness, what a career. And we appreciate you so much. What are you most proud of about East Robertson Elementary? That's always, because it changed. I think it changes. It's kind of, it could be the same from last year, but it may be something a little different now as you've gotten to be there a little bit longer.
I do think it's the relationships. And I think because there's so many families have lived in that community for so long, it feels like everybody knows everybody.
Right.
We get a lot of newer families in, but it still has that small town. You know people, you get to know them well, you know their families, you know the community, and it feels like home. It feels like family.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's kind of where we started is that's always kind of been my persona when I look at it and I'm like, oh yeah, that just seems to be the thing. So what have you got coming up? Do you have, well, let's a couple of things. Do you have any job openings that you need to put out there? That's one of those things we like to always kind of give you an opportunity. Do you have some openings? Do you know some people that are going to be retiring? So you're going to have openings in the fall, or there's some feelers that you want to put out right now and say, hey, we're going to be looking.
I actually don't think I'm going to have any retirements this year. I had 5 last year.
Oh my goodness!
And
I remember
2 or 3 growth positions last year. So we hired on quite a few new people. I am right now in the process of we are opening a faculty daycare at East Robertson Elementary School.
I love that.
So I'm
love that.
working on hiring for the daycare teachers or the daycare workers. But other than that, that is all I've got open right now.
I love that you're getting a daycare, though.
I'm
I think
excited.
That's so special.
We're hoping to open in January when we come back to school.
That's great.
We've got so many younger teachers because of all the retirements.
Right.
We've got so many younger teachers coming in that need that, and it's fantastic of Robertson County Schools to help provide that.
I agree. And I got to have the best of both worlds because I got to keep my kids with me because I was in a confined. I mean, I got to have the best of both worlds. I can't imagine, having to deal with that. I've got a coworker that I said, there is trying to talk to her about how she's navigating daycare. My daughter-in-law works at a school in Jackson that has a daycare there. So she gets to take my grandson with her to school. Right. He's right there.
Right.
And it's just so priceless. I mean, it's just beautiful.
We will be the 3rd school. Watauga Elementary opened theirs first.
Right.
And then Joe Burns Elementary opened theirs last year. So we'll be the 3rd one in the district to have faculty daycare.
Very cool. So is it set to open in the fall?
In January.
Oh, so
we're hoping we are pushing in that final push with the state to get our licensing and hoping that happens January 5th.
How many children would you be able to accommodate, do you think?
Only about 15.
Yeah. So there'll be a limit.
There will be a limit.
So, yeah.
But that's good. That's a good thing.
Yeah, exactly. But that's so wonderful because that is just such a struggle.
Yes.
Such a struggle for parents. And we need the teachers so desperately. It's another one of those.
Absolutely.
Keeping these teachers in place. You've got to help them, keep these jobs because, man, I'm impressed that y'all don't have any openings, but that's a good thing to hear because for so long, I know several schools, though, that are just desperate for a math teacher or an English teacher. Those are the big things. But there's just so many kids coming into this area.
Absolutely. And the growth is insane.
You better believe it. You better believe it. Now, as far as, are y'all anticipating then a lot of growth? You were talked about, we like our little community, but in the reality, are there any developments that are going to be pushing a bunch of kids into your school, do you think?
We're hoping not, but reality is, White House has grown so much. Everything's moving north on 65. And, the Cross Plains areas that in Orlando area are those next spots up I-65 that will be available. So while, I think the majority of the people would like to keep that growth out, we can probably realistically anticipate some growth over the next few years.
I didn't realize Orlando went to East Robertson. So you
Yes,
got the
we are Cross
Bernards.
Plains in Orlando. Yes.
You get the Bernards down
Yes,
there. I love them.
absolutely. Oh, they're
one of my
wonderful.
sponsors. Yeah, they're great. They're just
they're
fabulous.
a huge supporter of our school as well.
That's great. That's great because I get such a kick out of Julie. It was just so funny because I had actually was reaching out to Julie to see what they were working on this week for the ad, and I get such a kick out of her boys. Some of the stuff they come up with.
Absolutely.
I just get such a kick out of them. Anyway, but they're an awful lot of fun. I didn't realize they were East Robertson kids.
Oh, yes.
She
Oh,
talks to
yes.
me. She'll say, "Well, we were going to school." One of the boys said something about they pulled up at school. And it's before they had mowed the grass right
Yes.
the year. Did you hear about
yes,
this?
I did. It was fantastic.
He goes-
I actually sent that quote to our maintenance department.
I'll let you share it. So-
It came through an email, and he said something about the grass in the playground was so high they could get 50 rolls or something.
He goes, "We could get a roll of hay out of
Yes,
that, or something
yes.
like that." And I can just see him saying it.
I
And,
chuckled when I heard that too.
I
It
got
was
so tickled.
fantastic.
And but anyway, he goes, "We could get a roll of hay out of that grass." But that was hysterical to me, and they're just an awful lot of fun. But tickled to know they're some of your parents.
Oh,
So,
yes.
well, what I was saying before I ask about the jobs. So, do you have something coming up that you want to make sure the community knows about with the holidays, events, or anything like that?
This month is actually pretty quiet for us.
Okay.
November was our big month. We
Okay.
had Veterans Day program on November, and our Veterans Day program is huge. We
know, I hear
probably had 100+ veterans and their family
Wow.
members this year. And it's such a special time because, we get to provide them with breakfast that morning, sponsored by our PTO and a lot of our local businesses. I think the Bernards were some
I'm
that
sure they were a
sponsored
part of it,
the
yeah.
Feed Trough, Miss Demetria White, our school board member.
Oh, yeah.
Some of those people would brought in food for all of our veterans, so they got a great breakfast. And then we bring the kids out into the hallways with flags and all kinds of decorations on the walls, and the
that's so
veterans
cool.
get to parade through the hallways, and the kids are high-fiving them, and just it's so amazing to see the veterans come down the hallway and just their eyes light up with all the kids, and then we take everybody into the gym and have a big ceremony, and it's one of my favorite days that we have for
I
the
love it.
entire year.
I love it, and it's so. When we talk about, do y'all do that actually on Veterans
We
Day?
do it on Veterans Day.
What I love is that everybody's like, "Why are we in school on Veterans Day?" That's why. Because
Yes.
if you don't have the kids in school on Veterans Day, then they're just home on a day off, and they're like, "It's just another
What's
day
going
off."
on? Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
another day off.
They don't really understand the meaning behind it.
Well, and I feel
And,
like the kids and sitting there looking at those veterans this year and last year, and they shaped our history of our
man, yeah.
country. I mean, that's the people sitting in there that those kids get to see and get to meet actually changed our world.
Yes.
And that is amazing to me. And they need to know that. They need to know about that.
Did Mr. Wren come over to yours?
Did.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. He's like 100.
Yes. 101.
One or two- yeah, I
It'll be
think he's about to be
101
100.
this month,
Yeah.
I think.
And he is a World War II veteran
Yes.
and just amazing.
Yes,
And-
he lives up
yeah.
in Orlando, so
Yeah, I
he's-
thought that he was
Yes.
in your end of the county. So I thought, I bet Mr. Ring came over there because they brought him into ours. We had our Veterans Day program on the Monday prior to, and so just the day before.
Right.
And I really liked that they did that because it opened it up for other
More
to be able to
people.
get
Yes.
Mr. Wren.
Yes.
And so I think that was just beautiful, and I was just so tickled to get to meet him. I mean,
Oh,
my
it
goodness.
is amazing. His background and the things
Oh,
that
my
he
gosh.
saw and
Yeah.
got to do were incredible.
Yes, my son is a veteran, and he was at ours. I would love for him to come experience all those little kids.
Yes.
That would be he'd get a kick out of that. He
Oh,
would
the
get a
high
kick out of
fives down
that.
the hallway.
Oh, he would love that.
You
I'll
know,
have to get him over there one day. I'll have to say, "Hey, you need to go over to East Robertson for their veterans."
It made me a little nervous the first year
Yeah.
because I thought germs, and all these
Yeah.
veterans. But you know what? They love it.
Yeah,
Kids and veterans both.
yeah, that's what they make that stuff for.
That's
you
right.
know,
That's right.
What do they call that?
Hand sanitizer.
Hand sanitizer. I don't use it. I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna go down that anyway. I figure a little bit of immunity helps my
Right.
immunity if I stay away from
Right.
it, because since I don't have to have it. But anyway, I digress. What are we missing? Anything about East Robertson? We're talking with Principal Amy Shapton. She is at East Robertson Elementary on the first Wednesday. We talk to the principals in Robertson County during school. Now, when school is out during the summer, we don't do this, but during the school year, we like to meet our principals and just kind of find out what's going on in the different schools around the county because we're such a big county and there's so much going on. So are we missing anything that we need to cover?
I mean, like I said, our November was extremely busy between Veterans Day and then we do our Thanksgiving lunches. I think we had around 900 visitors between 2 days to come and eat Thanksgiving lunches with the kids. Our Beta Club went to competition in November. This is only it's elementary, so it's 4th and 5th graders. And this is only the second year that we've had the Beta Club and they've gone to competition at the state. And we came away with, or they came away with, they did all the work. We had like a third place drawing winner. I have notes on that one because I wanted to give these kiddos a shout out because they were incredible. Hannah Stallman had third place in drawing. Jackson Bryant was second place in 4th grade math. That's second place in the state. That's pretty impressive.
That's very impressive.
We had Jillian Reed did 4th place in cake decorating, which I thought was pretty awesome.
That's fun.
First place jewelry maker Charlie Keith.
Okay.
We had in the state for National Beta Club. Yep.
That's fun. I didn't know that Beta Club had that. Almost sounds like 4-H.
Right.
A little bit. It does have like a 4-H echo to it when you get into cake baking and jewelry making and all that, but it's skills.
It is.
It is skills, and when you're
talents.
Doing all these things, if you're decorating a cake, if you're making jewelry, you need to know how to count and line things up and put things in order.
Ties in hand with academics.
The symmetry of properly decorating a cake and positioning it right, so it's not like all over to one side. I mean, people don't think about the math and the geometry.
Absolutely.
And all these little things that go into those skills, and anywhere you can teach kids about that by doing something that they're like, oh, I could decorate a cake.
Absolutely.
But how are you going to, I do that with audio and video. It's about framing and putting things in proper perspective and not putting everything on this third of the screen and all these kinds of things. And I mean, there's ways to overlap math into everything, and that's something we have to do because
the math and the reading and
math and reading and huge and
just the talent. A lot of these kids have talent. We had first place talent for the dance part. We had Macy Underwood place first place in the state. She's going to nationals. Our whole club together, all of them together competed in what's called Song Fest. So they take a popular song and they change the lyrics to like the Beta theme for the year. And we placed 4th overall in the state. So for the second year of that club, they've done amazing.
Okay, so you had a first place winner for dance. I feel like I interrupted you. Did you get through all of them?
First place winner for jewelry, 3rd for drawing, 2nd place in math, overall in math.
You mentioned him.
4th in cake decorating, and then the 4th place in Songfest.
Okay, but
for 4th and 5th grade.
First in dance.
Yes.
Wow. And who was this young lady?
Macy Underwood.
That's really cool, Macy. That's really cool.
She did. It was amazing.
What kind of dance does she do?
She did tap.
Tap. Oh, fun. I love that. I think that's so cool. That's so neat. That's so neat. Anyway, there's just so many cool things going on. I just love it. And I love that y'all are getting the kids involved in that stuff so early.
Oh, yes. And that's something I was a beta sponsor at Heritage when I was there for probably 11 years. And that was back when it was just middle school and high school. And they opened it up to elementary school a few years ago. And like I said, our club just started last year. We had 2 teachers that wanted to sponsor that and wanted to be a part of that. And they have taken that on full force. And
I love it. I love it. I love that. That's one, the clubs and things. My husband and I talk a lot about the how do you structure meeting and doing all those things within the school day with the kids, because some of the kids just can't stay late.
Right.
They just can't. And so trying to find time to do those things, because the kids love that competition and all the different things that you can just teach them that just wrap around the skills and stuff. That's just so good. Well, that's cool. I had no idea they had Beta Club in elementary.
Oh, yes. 4th and 5th graders. Lots of fun.
So cool. I have to get my grandkids involved in that. Anything to dig them into their academics.
Yes.
I was going to ask you something. What do we teach cursive writing at all anymore?
Yes, we do.
Good for you.
Yes.
Good for you. Because they can't read the founding documents without it.
Right.
And there is a gap of kids that weren't taught.
There was.
Cursive.
There was a
gap. When did y'all bring it back on?
It's been a few years now.
Okay. But y'all saw the need to bring that back around.
Absolutely.
And I don't think
Absolutely.
is that part of the state curriculum, or is that
I'm
just
remembering
something?
correctly. Yes, it is.
Okay.
Is-
Well,
it
that's
is
good
part of
to
what we
know.
do. Yes.
Okay, because I just thought it might be something that you as a principal said, "Hey, we're going to teach them."
No, that's Robertson County as a whole.
Oh,
Yes.
good job. Good job, school board, or whoever decided to do that, because that's been something that has just baffled me.
Right. My son was in that kind of gap year
Yeah.
that didn't really learn that. We worked on it at home, but
Yeah.
they did bring it back, which is fantastic.
Well, I have my kiddos that I've got right now in high school, they can't begin to read it.
Right.
Can't begin. And
Right.
there's a few because they had parents that, insisted.
Yes.
But I had one class one time, and it was when I was building my audio video program, they had me teaching a communications class because that's what my degree is in. And it was, I was business communications. I said, you need to develop a signature. And that was part
Yes.
it was part of every test I gave from that point on. Sign your signature in this blank. And if it was
Right.
like, I made them try again. Do something legible.
Right.
I know we see adults that are just like, and it's like, quit that. Quit that. We can't read that, and, but we need to be able to, I can't imagine going to Washington and not being able to read a word on those documents.
Right.
Not a single word,
Right.
but interesting. Well, that's very cool. Anything else we're missing?
Our choir sings tomorrow night.
Is it a Christmas choir?
It is. Well, it's our elementary school choir.
Okay.
Our music teacher's phenomenal. She's got that choir in place, and
Fun.
the tree lighting is tomorrow night tonight. Sorry, I'm a day off. I'm thinking it's Tuesday. Tonight.
Wednesday.
Today's Wednesday, so it is tonight. They actually sing tonight at the tree lighting in Cross Plains. So yes.
Fun. What time is that happening? Do
Oh
you know?
gosh, I can't remember off the top of my head. It's in my planner in my
Okay. Well, just
car, but I think 6 o'clock. I'm not
I would
100%
think 'cause you
positive
kind of want the
on
sun
that.
to be down and all that.
Right.
Maybe it's going to warm up a little bit because woo,
Ooh, it's
that's not
chilly.
cold. But well, very good. I'm just so glad that you got to come in and just get reacquainted and tell your husband he needs to
Absolutely.
come in with Caleb. Make him come in with Caleb this month because they're due to come in here, not this coming Monday but the next. So he needs to come in with. So just tell him. So yep, LaVern says y'all need to come on in and let's talk about all the things going on with hunting and all that. And they've got their trout drop and
Oh
all
yes,
those things.
yes,
Oh yeah,
all those things happening.
all those
for
things.
Sure.
Very good. It's so good to see you.
You too.
And I think, it's so funny. My 2 ads I need to do are both in your area, Bernard's
awesome.
and Barry and Rebecca Richards. So we're going to be talking about them here. And actually, they've got the pancakes with Santa.
Yes, coming up.
And that's on December 20th that you can go out to Bernard Farms Custom Cuts and Market. They're going to have just so much fun. But that's 8 a.m. until 11 a.m. And that's on the 20th of December. That's 2 weeks from this Saturday. 2 weeks from this Saturday, and that's going to be an awful lot of fun. They have got just so many wonderful things for you that they want you to come by and check out. So many great gift ideas. I saw that, they have a special Chex Mix recipe they make.
Oh,
Have you ever tried it?
no, but everything they have over
Everything
there
they
is
have
good.
is just wonderful. And so she put up that the Chex Mix is ready, y'all. And in her lovely charm, but they've got all kinds of great gift ideas. You could go in there and put together a gift basket and with non-perishable stuff like the Chex Mix and just all kinds of fun little Christmas ornaments. They got a UT Outhouse Christmas ornament that she's got featured here, but you definitely want to make sure you're going to take your kids down there to enjoy pancakes with Santa on the 20th. And they also, too, have these little simmer pots. When you talk about putting together, you could get some Chex Mix, get the little simmer pots, some local honey, all kinds of things.
And grab lunch while you're there because their
Yes.
lunch is fantastic.
Oh, I love it. I love those pork burgers.
Yes,
they're
they're
so
so
good.
good.
And their sausage and biscuits you can get right now. They're open 7 to 4 right now on Tuesday through Saturday, 7 to 4. You can go by and say hi to Julie and tell her that Amy and LaVern said hello and that we sent you. So there we go. We got their ad
There we
in. Thank
go.
you. You got to help me with it. Thank you, Amy.
Thank
I'll let
you.
y'all switch. I think I saw Cory out there. Did you see him out there?
I have
I
not,
saw
but-
him. I thought I saw him walk in.
All right.
But anyway, I'll let you head out and see if he's maybe sitting on the couch. I saw somebody walk in, but hopefully he'll make his way on in here. But
right.
thank you so much,
Thank
Amy.
you.
God bless you. And what time does school start for y'all?
We start at 8 o'clock. Doors open at 7:30. We start at 8 o'clock.
Okay.
So-
I'll let you get going. Good to see you. God bless you. And we're expecting Dr. Cory Willoughby coming on in here to talk to us about what's going on at Joe Burns. So come on in. You're fine. You're fine. But as you get seated, we are going to continue talking about our sponsors, and we'll talk about Barry and Rebecca Richards here in just a minute. But they're up in, I was kind of doing my ads because both of my sponsors are up in her neck of the woods. So I was talking about them. Welcome.
Good
Get
morning.
on that microphone for me.
Oh,
real
good morning.
good.
All right. Is that
Now,
better?
did we meet last year?
We did.
Okay. I was pretty sure because it was your first year there,
It was.
right? Okay,
Year-
so
year
both
two.
you and Amy both are just
Yes.
still
And I
kinda-
was at East Robertson before.
Okay. Okay.
When I left, that's when she came in at East. So
Right.
It was
Okay.
it was nice sitting here listening to the things going on out there because that's what.
Yeah. So how long were you at were you at East Robertson Elementary?
Yes,
This
ma'am.
is what I
3
knew.
years.
Okay,
over
so
there.
you were there 3 years, and then where were you? Give us your history. This is Dr. Cory Willoughby, and he is the principal at Joe Burns High School,
Yes, ma'am.
and it's in his second year there. But what's your background?
I coached and taught history at White House High School in Sunbury County for 5 years. Then I was an assistant principal at Crestview for 3 years.
Okay,
Principal at East Elementary for 3 years, and now the second year at Joe Burns.
how fun. Are you from Robertson County?
I'm not. I'm from Gallatin.
You're from
originally.
Gallatin.
I
Well-
grew up in a Navy family, so moved around a lot growing
Gotcha.
up, but most of my time was spent in Gallatin.
Outstanding. Well, thank your family for their service.
Yes,
Did you serve in the military?
I did not.
But you did get to do all the traveling
I
and
did.
stuff.
We did a lot of
I
moving
gotcha.
around.
Very good. Well, and so how are things settling for you at I mean, Joe Burns is just, that's why I was telling Amy, I've always loved your community spirit that you have, the agricultural background and all of that, because that's how I grew up. I grew up in a very agricultural area, and the school that just we were all there together. You know, it was not so spread out, and you just got that hometown feel. And you've got that at Joe Burns.
We do.
For sure.
One thing I'll brag about, my football coach and some of the people in the school, we talked, how can we tie more community stuff into our school? And with how high school athletics are getting, with you've got to pump it up for the kids. We had our ag department build a tobacco barn at the corner of our football field. So when our football team comes onto the field, they run through a miniature smoking barn. We have lights and fog in it, and we smoke it up really big about an hour before the game. So when they run on the field, they're coming through a tobacco barn. It's pretty cool. It's got some attention across the state, and a lot of people from the community really enjoy that, and that's one thing we're proud of. We can tie that in.
I've got to come see that. I saw some social media on it, and I thought that's hysterical. That is cool. Because I will say, my husband had, when he first started teaching, they had him go down to Coopertown and help coach for a year or two. I can't remember. And so, because he has a football background. And so we were at a game with Coopertown Middle and Joe Burns, and I could smell the tobacco barns. And it was just the coolest. It was just one of those really cool fall moments. I was like, no, this is nice. This is nice. But I love the smell of tobacco in the air. And it's so cool. And that y'all did that with your field. I saw that. That is really cool. I'm assuming you do it with like a fog machine.
No, we've got a couple fog machines
That's
in
what
there.
I figured. Yeah, they're not running the kids through a bunch of
No,
smoke,
no, we're
y'all.
not
Don't
doing
freak
that.
out. No. It's fog machines. But I think that's just such a neat idea. I bet you get some interesting reactions from your opponents when they see that.
It is. Me and my SRO will stand and we open the doors for them and we look across the field and you can see the other kids and some of the parents just giving the weird look of what in the world's going on here. They
They
no
don't
clue
understand.
what's.
Well, especially if they come from an area and they don't understand what the smoking barns are all about. They're like, what are they doing? But it's just, it's one of those things. If you know, you know. If you know, you know, and that's cool. That's really neat. I love that. I think that's so special. But I've got to come out and see that next year. I've got to come out and see that. How far did y'all make it this year?
Second round.
Second
And we
round
were-
in the state.
We were pretty competitive in that game. We played the number 4 team in the state, and to the start of the fourth quarter, the injury bug got us, and
Yeah.
our kids really fought. And I'll say I'm really proud of Coach Robinson and his staff, going from 1-6 a couple years ago to
Oh, yeah.
second round playoff, second in the region.
Absolutely.
Won 6 games this year. They're building something.
So who in the
back.
region do you have to go up against?
We have Clay County Innovation Academy and Red Rolling Springs.
Okay, so they're all in your okay, because that's one thing I don't really understand is how they position everybody, and you just that's one thing I've never really understood how Greenbrier is positioned where they are and have to play Springfield, I mean, it's like, what? But, and I think that's right. I don't know. And in East Robertson's in a division outside, because I mean, it was East Robertson, Springfield, and Joe Burns that got into the regionals, right? I think football. I don't know.
I think yes.
I think so, but I'm just not sure how far they all made it. So, well, congratulations on that.
Thank
That's
you.
quite an accomplishment. So, I'm basketball, ready to go. Y'all ready to go with basketball?
We're excited. We've got a senior heavy class
Y'all
on our
got a
boys
great
basketball, and
basketball
they should be pretty good.
I've seen your kids play. They're phenomenal. You've got some, I don't know, you've got some kids coming up through middle school, though, too, that are.
We've got a really good. I was at
Man.
our middle school basketball game Monday night, and those
Yeah.
boys were
Yeah.
playing lights out. The girls won big too.
Mm-hmm.
We've got several new coaches in a lot of different places, and it's really shifted the athletic culture in our building.
Gotcha.
There's a lot more high standards,
Yeah.
high expectations,
Right.
and it's everything's trending in the right way.
That's excellent, and that's one thing. Whenever I have being still rather new to teaching, and watching when we played basketball, we ran our tails off. And I've always, any of the kids that are athletes in my class, I'm always, when they're getting ready for sports, I'm like, are y'all not conditioning? Why aren't you running? Why aren't you running? You need to be running. You need to be running. You need to be, shut up, Miss Vivio. And I'm like, I didn't like it either, but it's a game changer.
Yeah.
It gives you the edge if you are in condition.
It does.
It can hang. You got to be able to hang in every sport. But anyway, well, that's great. But y'all do have some phenomenal athletes out there, so that's awesome. What are you most proud of with your school?
I would say the kids and the
Okay.
families that we have. It is great when you can walk in the doors and kids are excited to be there.
Mm.
Our absentee rate was not something to be proud of a couple years ago, and we decreased that rate to, I think, the best in the district.
That's awesome.
Kids are coming to school and they're happy to be at school, and that's just being in the hallways and talking to the kids and building relationships with kids, teachers that build relationships with kids, and just the culture of wanting to be there in the building and learn and have a
For
good
sure.
time while we're doing it.
For sure. And that's so important. Absentee rates, I talk a lot about that on radio, that you got to get your kids to school, because even in what I teach with audio video, if they miss, if it's a day that I'm teaching them some technique and then I have to reteach it individually, I'll have them go, I don't understand this, Miss Vivian. It's like, I'm sorry, I don't have time to come and sit with you at your
Yeah.
desk and walk through this. I've gone through it, and and sometimes they're just not paying attention. But if they miss the instruction, then it's really a struggle. And I can't, and that's for a career and technical class. When it comes to we're in EOCs, they start today, end of course testing. When it comes to your maths and your English and things, I have a girl that's in my homeroom. We call it cat time. And she wants so much to be one of our newscasters. But when we record news, she's in math class. And she's freshman. And her math teacher and I have talked, and she's like, she just can't miss.
Yeah.
Because she gets behind, because we have to pull them from wherever they are at a set time, first block, to get them in to do that. So that absentee rate is huge on everything.
You look at the pacing guide of what the standards the state wants you to have mastered by the time we get to EOCs. It's every day is
You better
something
believe
new.
it. You better believe it. So, what is the structure at Joe Burns? Now, you're the high school principal, but are y'all all right there together, or are there separate buildings? Or
It's one building with 6th grade through seniors.
so it's 6th through seniors, just like they have at East Robertson then. But
Yes,
you have do you have like a little separate section then for middle schoolers and all that?
We do. There's a kind of a breakaway between the office where our middle school stays more isolated, separate from the high schoolers, to not let them intermingle too much.
Sure. Absolutely. That's how it was with
And it's
mine.
amazing when you go. I'll go in the cafeteria and you'll see 6th grade in there at one time, and then 30 minutes later, high school seniors are in there, and just the difference in
Oh,
the
yeah.
kids from 6th grade to senior.
Oh, yeah. It's breathtaking, but it's wonderful, though. So where are your elementary kids?
They are down the street at Joe Burns Elementary. They have
Okay.
their own building.
Okay. And they go through fifth, you
5th grade.
said? And so you have 6th, 7th, and 8th are middle school.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Because that's the standard. Because I'm trying to understand middle school versus elementary. Because when I was a kid in the 60s, when I was in elementary, it was 1st through 6th was elementary. And then middle school, it was like junior high. We never didn't have anything we called middle school. We had junior high, 7th and 8th grade, and then high school. So it was just the way, just how things were. I mean, they may still do that because I'm Kentucky. So it may be the state is different, the way they did it. So, you said you grew up in Gallatin.
I did.
So you've been there in Gallatin, and then came over to Robertson County. We appreciate you because we're pretty proud of it. But what are we missing? Anything? Do y'all have any big events coming up for the Christmas holiday that you want to promote?
Our band will have a Christmas concert, and I cannot think of the date off the top of my head.
Okay.
But we've got a new band director this year, and I cannot tell you how proud I am of Dawson Campbell and the work he has done. We did not have a marching band, and he has reinvented our marching band program, and they were out doing the national anthem at ball games. They're going to be at every home basketball game this year with a pep band. They've had concerts. They've gone to competitions all through the fall. And I know we talked a lot about athletics on the front end, but our other extracurriculars, we're pushing that as much as anything else. Because I want every kid that walks in the door at Joe Burns High School, I want to have some opportunity to do something they enjoy.
Right.
If that's band, if that's athletics, if that's beta club, if it's art club. There's something every kid, and that goes back to the absentee rate.
Yeah.
Kids shouldn't feel like there's nothing there for them when they come in outside of the core stuff. And when we can do that, it's great. And he's done a great job. He'll have a Christmas concert. We had a Veterans Day concert a couple weeks ago, and they tied it in with History Club, and we had some staff that were veterans speak at it. We had our History Club and student body president speak and do a speech along with the band performing. So
very cool.
Some really good stuff going on there.
So I would say you're probably not ready for field competition though yet, because I mean
they did. They went out.
They went out and did a field competition.
They went to Trousdale County.
Really?
They went to Murfreesboro and
That's
some
awesome.
and being a single A school with
and being
barely 300 kids in the high school competing at schools that have 1,500, 2,000 kids.
Big difference.
It's a huge difference,
Well,
and
the fact that they can put something together at all, that's amazing.
He came in the summer and he set his expectations of this is what we're going to do. This is what our band program is going to look like, and he has stuck to it. And the kids have responded well. And
you might really have something there, because I mean, with a close knit community like that, that's one of the things. Finding the things that make the kids want to be at school. You know, that's what we've seen with the audio video program. We have a talent show that has blown my mind the way the kids have coalesced around it, and they've built new friendships, and we have this whole new little group that are writing songs together and all this, and it's just like, just because we gave them an outlet.
Yeah.
You know, you just got to give them an outlet to show off.
There's a lot of
look at what hidden talents
these kids have that once they get the opportunity to show what they can do, they will impress a lot of people.
I love it. I love it. And you just, that's great. Well, it sounds like you are doing all the right things. Now, do you have any openings that you want to share?
Not right now. We just filled our last one a few weeks ago.
Okay.
We stole him from Clarksville as an academic coach, and he's been fantastic so far. Right now, we're full.
Okay.
You never know what's going to happen.
Are you anticipating some retirements? I mean, that's always kind of, you kind of look inside. I mean, I would think that the principals would kind of be like, yeah, or maybe they've hinted. So you're going to have maybe some things.
We'll have one or two retirements. We'll be interviewing for the end of the year.
Right.
And you never know with transfers and people wanting to, something happens with family. That happens every year unexpectedly.
Well, and one thing too, people don't realize, the principals evaluate their schools every year, and they go, okay, we don't need this many English classes. We don't need this program. And things will sometimes drop off, or you'll have to make adjustments, and maybe you have to. So, I mean, those kinds of things can happen. Maybe you have one less English and you need another social studies, or, you know, because you have to meet the curriculum. And so they look at those things, and they look very hard at those things. And it's not something that's just like, this is how it is, and it's just cookie cutter. It's reevaluated every year. Every single year. And would that be fair to say?
It is.
I was surprised. Yeah.
We have about 100 kids in our sophomore class and only 70 in our junior class. So those courses that are offered each year based on the class, we have to make changes to what course load teachers have if they're in the history department, or if it may be.
Yeah.
And we have one Spanish teacher, and that's a lot for him to get through 100 kids. It's all Spanish 1 in the fall and all Spanish 2
in
the spring. So
That's
things
a
like
lot.
that, looking at adding teachers in some of those positions.
You better believe it. And that's usually what we're looking at in Robertson County is not really eliminating positions, but it's like I need to bring in another English teacher. I need to bring in another math teacher. And those are positions that are hard to fill because, people like teaching this stuff like I'm teaching. You can find a lot of CTE potential out there because it's career stuff and things like that. But when it comes to those tested subjects, again, let me remind you, end-of-course testing begins today for the high schools. I'm guessing that's just a high school thing,
It
or
is.
is it? Because what do the middle school kids get? Do they have
they
like
do
a
TCAP at the now they'll do our benchmark testing through the county next week.
Right.
We
Okay.
kind of gauge where they're at and what gaps we need to close, but they won't do their official state testing until the spring
okay? So they have a benchmark, and it will be next
next
week,
week.
and then that'll be it
That'll be it for the
until after Christmas,
after
until the
Christmas.
spring. Okay, and then they have a ticket because the high school kids. The way our semesters run, some of them are just finishing English 1, English 2, so they've got to do their end of course testing. Did you get what you needed to out of that? And would that be fair to say?
it is.
That they do the
And
end
they-
of course testing at the end of these subjects, so the state can say, okay, you can move on past English 1 because it is a part of their grade.
It is.
I forget how. Do you know how much it is? I forget how much.
15%, I believe.
Yeah, it's like 15% of their grade will come off of these end of course tests that they're going to start taking today. And end of course testing for high school students runs through the 16th. I mean, there'll be, makeups and things like that. So all the way through the 16th, and then 17th and 18th, we have finals. And then the 19th is our makeup day. So some of these kids that are exempt from their finals could be done with school for Christmas break on the 16th. That's something that's interesting to navigate. If you got kids already asking you, am I exempt? Am I exempt? Are you
Not
getting those
yet, but
questions
I
yet?
know
Oh,
it's coming in the next couple days, I'm sure.
Oh, we're already getting it. We're already getting it. We were getting it, before we went to Thanksgiving. It's like, it's like the time to evaluate that is before you start having absences, y'all.
We changed the policy this year. We made some adjustments in our opening day pep rally. I said, guys, I'm going to let you know we're not doing a midterm exemption this year. It's just finals. And you could hear the audible groan from the entire high school student body.
Yeah, the same thing.
So they were disappointed in that. But
well, and the reason why, and I agree with this completely, and Dr. Osborne, our principal, she said, if you set it up where a kid can be exempt from midterms and finals, they could theoretically go to college and have never taken an exam per se. They've taken quizzes and tests and all that, but a exam that they're going to have to be faced with except of course I know they have the EOCs and things, but that's so totally different because every exam is so different depending on who the teacher is and who the professor will be in college. You may have somebody that does nothing but essay. You may have somebody that does nothing but, research exam. I mean, there's all kinds of different formats that exams can follow, and you better have some experience with it. Or you're going to be blindsided. If you try to go to college and you've never written a term paper, you can't do that. And it's the same thing with the exams, and that exam exemption for midterms was really a problem.
it was.
And so they have to take their midterms, and they can get exempt from the finals if they've got an A or a B and they've not had the absences. I think it's like 3 absences.
3 with an A and 2 with a
and
B.
2 with a B. And that's just absences. So if they're not coming to school, even if they had an illness or something like that, you can't get exempt because you've got to be there, I think, isn't it? Or is it I can't remember. I don't think you can have any absences, or is it unexcused?
I think
It's
I think unexcused disqualifies you altogether.
yes.
And you can have 3 excused and 2 with
That's what I was
3
thinking.
with an A and 2 with a B.
I was trying to make sure I was saying it right because I had a kid say, well, I got sick and was out a week, and so now I can't be exempt. And I said, I think that's fair. And I hate that you got sick and it knocked you out, but you missed too much school. And there's got to be some really stringent guidelines for this to be able to have that extra time off. But a lot of them, man, the ones, they're never missing. They never miss because they know I get out of school 2 days early. If I can maintain my grades, and I'm like, go for it. I think that's a great incentive.
I took advantage of it when I was in high school, so I can't blame them.
Yeah, for sure. And they didn't have it for a while and just brought it back in the last couple of years.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, yeah. So the kids really love that, though. We've got having a conversation with Dr. Cory Willoughby. He is the high school principal at Joe Burns High School, and just a great school. What is your total? How many kids do you have? Did you say?
We're roughly 550.
550?
Sixth grade through 12th grade.
Sixth grade. So are you the principal for 6th through 12th?
I am.
Okay.
Over all of it.
So to say high school, it's just Joe Burns High School and middle school.
It is.
Okay, so I had that wrong. I was thinking you had a different. How many assistant principals do you have?
I have two. One
Two.
covers more middle school, one covers more high school, and then I just float and do whatever's needed.
For sure, for sure. And again, just great school. We hear so many wonderful things about it, and just so tickled that you came in. Now, what is your? Let me go ahead and do an ad for Barry and Rebecca Richards, and then we'll come back. Let's talk about what time you start, what time you end. Is it the same schedule as what the elementary? You know what I mean? And
Right.
the reason why I like to always touch on that is because it's all different because of the logistics of trying to transport our children. That's one of the things. My husband teaches in the criminal justice program at Springfield, but he also picks up a bus route to help them out and takes kids he's picking up kids for Coopertown Elementary. Is it elementary or middle? Coopertown Middle, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, Coopertown Middle. He picks up like at 5:45.
Goodness.
And then delivers the Coopertown kids, then picks up a batch for Springfield High School, drops him at school, teaches all day, then his planning block is in fourth block, so he goes and picks up the middle school kids, takes them home, then picks up the high school kids, takes them home, and then his day's done. But the reason why you have all these staggered starts is because of the shortage with bus drivers.
Yes.
So I say that to say we need bus drivers. That's why some of the teachers, like my husband, he worked with the buses for a while, and so it was like, hey, yeah, I can help out. But we've got a few teachers that are doing that, and it's a great idea, guys. Saves you don't have to worry about our car broke. We had a car breakdown over Thanksgiving, and it wasn't a big problem because he drives the bus to work, so it was no big deal that the car was down. So I mean, it's just you think about that. You're not using your own gas, and
I was going through the certification to get my bus driver's license when I was at East, and then when I made the transition, it became too much with the new position.
Yeah.
But the people at the bus shop are fantastic with helping with the training. You can have no knowledge of anything to do with buses, and they will walk you through every little bit of the testing to help you get certified. It's I hate to say easy, but you're really supported in that process, and great benefits through pay and the hours.
You can't beat it, really. And so I just kind of wanted to purse that because when we talk about the hours and the different starts, it's because of that transportation issue. And I drove a bus when my kids were at Good Pasture to help out with that. And it's not that hard. I mean, it's not. I enjoyed it. They're like, go get your license again, LaVern. But I do this. So, but it is not a difficult process, and they help you through every single part of the journey, and you get to know another set of kids.
Yeah.
And you just have such good relations with them. Just give them a good smile in the morning, and there's a few, handfuls, but that's okay. You sit them on the front seat. But, that's how you work it. We're talking with Dr. Cory Willoughby. He is the principal of Joe Burns High School and Middle School. I see Lee Marie coming in here. It is Wednesday, so we have another full hour of local programming coming on with the Go Show starting up at 8 o'clock. Hope you'll stick around. But we do want to talk about Barry and Rebecca Richards with Exit Prime Realty. This is something we've been talking about a lot this week because we're coming up on the end of the year. And this is a time when people start really evaluating what they're doing. Just like, I was talking with Dr. Willoughby about maybe you want to start driving a bus. Well, as you kind of go into the new year, you start thinking about, okay, what could I restructure? Some people think about a complete career redirection. And I have a lot of friends that have gone into real estate, either part-time or they've made the jump and gone full-time. Rebecca was in radiology before her kids were born. And then while they were home, she started doing real estate part-time. And so when they went to school and she wanted to go full-time with a job again, she was like, I love real estate. I want to do this. And so she looked around to make sure she was with the proper company, and she joined the Exit team. She was with the Garden Gate team for many years. Barry was working alongside her, helping her, but he was a media marketing vice president in Nashville for 17 years. And then he finally went, man, I think I want to go full time with real estate. And so she has an agency office up in White House. He has a brokerage office here in Springfield. And then they put those two together and started a new branch in the Exit Tree, which is Exit Prime Realty. So that's how that came to be. But I say all that just to say, they've got some phenomenal experience. So if you want to be a realtor, they're a great team to mentor you and to help you into that process. I've sent some kids their way in high school that said that, hey, I want to get into real estate. And I said, well, here's the number you need to call. This is Rebecca's number, 615-504-7425, 615-504-7425. I have a friend from Ukraine that was, she's a refugee, but she was a realtor in Ukraine. And so she's been talking to them, trying to see if she can't develop that skill here in the U.S. So all kinds of things. They're so involved in the community. We were talking with Amy about that because they're in the Cross Plains area, so they're very involved in everything. East Robertson School, of course, but they also help with the Open Door Pregnancy and Resource Center with their videos and all the things that they need. They just seem to be everywhere in the community, whether it's buying or selling, or if you want to be a realtor, whatever it is, reach out to Barry and Rebecca Richards today. 615-504-7425, 615-504-7425. Go to sellwithbecky.com, sellwithbecky.com, or buy.robertsoncounty.com, and let them know U-Turn sent you. Okay, now back to wrapping up what we were talking about, the logistics of school. So when do y'all start? When do you finish? Is the elementary the same as the high school? How's all that work at Joe Burns?
They're the same. Our doors open at 7:30, and
Okay.
school starts at 8, so
Okay.
that's a 30-minute window for parents to get kids from between elementary and high school if they need to do that. And the buses will have a set load at the elementary and load at us, and they'll swap in about a 10-15-minute window and get all the kids loaded up and get them where they need to go.
So you have high school and elementary on the same bus?
We do.
Well, and that's how it was when I was growing up, and so that works. But okay, so you have that 30-minute window. So I'm guessing, do you pick up the elementaries first or the high schools first in the afternoon?
About half the buses will start at the elementary, and half will start with us. We'll load our kids, and then we'll swap. So we'll have buses come to us we let out at 3 o'clock. About 3:15, the second load of buses will pull up, and we'll load our batch of kids, and they'll be on their way.
That's one of those things. As a teacher, dealing with bus dismissal, oh my gosh, it's a trip. But you have to, it's herding cats, trying to keep them, out of trouble and doing what they need to do. But it's a lot of fun too. That's where you build some relationships too with these kids, because you're talking to these kids, and it's a lot of fun. There's just not there. I mean, there's some things, meetings and things like that as teachers, but there's really not any aspect of teaching that I have not just thoroughly enjoyed, because even in the meetings, I get to know my colleagues better. All the things. There's something to glean out of every single aspect. So if you are interested in something we've talked about, go and check out the Robertson County Schools webpage and go and look at careers. And I guarantee you there's something you can do. But again, you said you don't have any openings right now.
Not right now, but you never know.
Drivers.
We do need bus drivers.
Yep.
Substitutes.
Substitutes. Do you have some full-time subs?
We have 2 right now.
now.
We have 2 that are with us, but we're always,
yeah.
There'll be a day here and there a stomach bug hits or the flu hits, and you've got 6, 7, 8 teachers out that day, and we're always needing subs.
That hasn't happened to me but one time, where I woke up and I'm like, I can't go to school. I mean, I was sick, and I'm usually one of those. I'm like, I'm all right, But I try so hard not to miss. I'm going to have to miss a couple of days, and I don't like it. Because when we talk about that absentees, when teachers are absent, it just makes the kids be like, oh, it's no big deal. Well, it is a big deal. And so teachers really fight hard not to miss. Are we missing anything else before we go? Don't let Lee Marie rush you out of here. She'll push us out or not.
He's not going to be happy about this, but I'm going to give a shout out to Brown Builders. Our baseball facility was not the best in the county.
Yeah.
And Coach Rice has come in as our baseball coach this year. He has got the community fired up for our baseball program. Brown Builders has got behind him. The booster club for the baseball team has got behind them. And if you have not been to Joe Burns baseball field in the last year, come check it. It's immaculate. It's going to be one of the best, not just in Robertson County, but in the state, with all the things they have going on out there.
Well, see,
a lot of time and effort.
I had heard this was ongoing. I think Dr. Weeks had mentioned to me that y'all were doing this because you have to get approval from the school board
Yes,
to
ma'am.
do all these things. And I think it's something that had been mentioned whenever we'd had a visit. So is it done or are you still finishing it up?
We're still working. We've got a fence to go up.
Okay.
Our indoor facility is the shells
Ooh,
constructed. There's a lot of work to do on the inside still.
how cool.
But it's
Inside indoor facility, really? That's
gonna be
impressive.
nice,
That's
and-
cool. I'll have to come by. Like I said, I got to come by and see the smoking barn. I've seen pictures, and I mean, that's just the coolest thing ever. Anyway, y'all can break that out except for football because that's just kind of fun.
I'm thinking about graduation, maybe letting.
Oh, yeah.
We'll see.
yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, that's a great idea, but don't start the rumor. They'll be like, we're going to get to walk through the smoking barn. That'll be a fun thing. Anything else before we go?
Massive ag barn for our ag department behind that baseball facility. We can do large and small animal care out there.
Is it done?
It's the shell is completed. I'm not
Okay.
sure where we're at. I haven't been out there in the last week to see
Okay.
electrical and everything else, how that's coming along. But
I've heard about
in the
that
next
too.
few months, that's going to be something.
You can have
for us.
livestock.
Again,
Oh, that's
not
cool.
just
Yep.
certain kids. It's every kid having something, an
I
outlet.
love
they can,
it. That's
They can
like
learn something.
Joe Burns. That's what's going on there, y'all. Anything else?
No, we're just. I
I don't
love
want
being
to
at Joe
leave. I don't
Burns.
leave anything on the table here.
Scores are going up across every subject.
Yeah.
Morale's going up. Kids love being there. Teachers love being there. We're having a good year at Joe Burns. The
love it.
community, everybody I talk to that comes in, really loves being a part of that community, and that's one of the reasons to be at a school like that is
I love it.
the community support and involvement.
I love it. I love it. Well, anything else? As I
That's
said,
all I've
there we
got.
go. I don't want to leave anything on the table. So anyway, but I'm so glad we got to visit. Thank
Yes,
you.
ma'am. Thank you for having
Dr.
me.
Willoughby. Oh, my pleasure. This has been a fun morning.
Yes,
God
ma'am.
bless you, and you got to
you.
get to school.
Yes, ma'am.
So me too. So EOC starts today for high school students. Kind of keep that in mind. And as Dr. Willoughby said, you'll have benchmarks next week for the younger ones. And Lee Marie's coming in here. And before we go, Old Timey Christmas Ball is coming up on not this Friday, but it's next Friday. 6:30 to 8:30, $10 pre-sale, $20 at the door. You know, I say this all the time. If you want to have some fun, hang out with this chick. She has a lot of fun. I love the videos and stuff. Eventually, I will make it to one of your festivities. I promise you, because I know. She's like, yeah, right, LaVern. I've been telling her she's going to teach me two-stepping and all the dances soon. I've got to, because I can dance now. All my joints work, and you know, I danced big at the wedding. But just my old style from the 70s, you know, like, you know, what we learned. But anyway, get to this. This is going to be a lot of fun. And y'all making dresses for it and all that fun stuff. It's going to be just cool. It's going to be really neat. So go to the Old Timey Ball Friday, December 12th, 6:30 to 8:30. Get your tickets right now. You can reach out to her at Well in the Square, and she'll talk more about it. So don't go anywhere. I got to get to school. Stay tuned for the Ghost Show coming up. Another full hour of local programming right here on 1100 WSGI. God bless you. Stick around, and I will see you tomorrow.